Talk Shoes. Recorded live.
Hi, this is Rob from the Source New Age. We have an interesting story today. It's about twins, and we have Beth and Amy, or Amy and Beth, here with us. Just before the show, I asked them, what do you like to go by? And that was a sense of confusion, huh? I can call you Amy Beth, or Beth Amy. Oh, Beth and
It doesn't matter.
Yes.
We
So
go
how's
by
everybody
whatever.
doing?
We're doing well.
And we have Simone here, too. She came in to visit. Hi, Simone. I'm not that you know of.
Not in this lifetime.
I don't even know if I have a twin soul.
Oh, okay.
I think triplets count. I think triplets are in the same group, aren't they?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Metaphysical triplets.
Yeah, exactly.
And I asked my mother once, am I a twin? I was a little boy, of course, and she goes, you think I make two of you? I said, no, I guess not.
My mom wondered why she made two of us.
What went wrong?
Well, I want to give you a little bit of my background with twins, okay?
Okay.
Just so you have some knowledge. I have never told you, but I used to photograph twins. I did it for maybe 8 years, maybe 9 years. I photographed twins from all over the world. Everyone knew me, and they knew I was trying to find out something metaphysical about twins. And I would photograph them with regular film. I would photograph them with infrared film. I would photograph them every way possible, shape and darkness, light, sun, no sun. I was trying to get some information. And all through that time, I came up with some conclusions of my own, but I was very happy and excited to hear that we have twins.
Yes, we do.
And, yeah. So, what is your earliest recollection, and do you have the same one?
I'm sure we don't have the same one because I think we've talked about this. I'll go first.
Yeah,
I'm already talking. And this is Amy talking, just so those people at home that don't have a face to us. Basically, I would have to say my earliest recollection is sitting on the stairs of our first home that we lived in from when we were born, with a box of raisins in my hand, and I was actually wondering what and who and where I was before this life, and then I realized I didn't like raisins anymore. But I had this, profound thought, and then I was like, why am I eating raisins? I don't like them anymore. And I never liked them ever again after that moment. So I guess I was about 2, maybe 3. So that's mine.
I just remember as my first memory is my first memory of Amy. And I just remember, ground level, I was lying down and I rolled over. And I looked and I thought, there's another one, and I thought, and I just remember thinking, reflecting back on it, that was her, the image of her is my first memory.
Oh, that makes
period. So
does that make you the older?
She's 2
I
years
am
older
the oldest.
2.5
Yeah.
minutes older than me.
Yeah, that would make sense totally.
Yeah. So, and I just remember seeing her as my first memory. And I was, in our first home as well. I don't know what floor I was on. I think the living room, but I don't know. And just rolling over and looking and thinking that. And, and I think my thoughts are more reflective now of that moment as opposed to me in that moment. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yep. Totally. I understand totally. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Do you have any other siblings?
We have a younger brother.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that makes Amy the middle child.
And she took it on.
Again, another total revelation on my part.
Yeah, I'm the underprivileged, misunderstood middle child. Right?
When we were in high school, we called her E.T. because she was the evil twin. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah. I've been stomped on my whole life.
I was, jumped into that goody two-shoes role, and she felt like I'm not going to be there, so I'll be on the other side of the coin. And it wasn't she was
I was a
anything
good
really
girl.
bad.
All I did was fail. Fail in school. That's all I did.
Well, you skipped a couple classes.
Yeah.
You know? Like 66 or something. I don't know.
Mom and Dad found out, but the school never knew. It's kind of funny that way.
She could play people, yeah.
May I
no,
add something?
Yeah.
'Cause I went to high school.
Yeah,
right, I know.
Simone was our friend from high school. My friend, really. We were talking about that earlier. She's my friend, but
Yes, Amy was my friend. We're in the same social studies class. And you two did not look and act like twins. I had this image of twins, the same haircut, the same clothes, the same friends, the mirror image of each other. And you two had just the sibling thing going on. Different hairstyles, different friends.
Yeah.
I think Beth, I remember, was more athletic than Amy, more like a jock girl.
Yeah, see, I always thought I was the jock in high school, and Beth wasn't, because she was into classical music and
I was.
ballet.
I didn't really do anything athletic.
Color guard. Hello.
I know.
Well,
yeah, we were both in color guard.
Color guard is not an athletic field.
Oh, it was so sad. Color guard.
Well,
I mean, I'm more
for the Florida trip, weren't we?
What'd you say?
I signed up for it for the Florida trip, and when the Florida trip got canceled, I dropped out. Remember? Anyway, okay.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, my daughter was just interrupting. The Florida trip. You mean when you and I signed up for the Florida trip?
Yes, yes.
I didn't go to Florida.
Yeah, there was a Florida trip for us. And that's why I signed up, and then it got canceled, and I dropped out. And I ended up moving to Florida instead. So anyway, moving on along with the twins, sorry.
Oh, my memory isn't serving me.
Mine is.
Oh. Okay, so go ahead.
Selective memory is a very good thing, especially when you're in...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it really is, because we're hot or cold.
Yep.
You know?
So, of course, when you get the keeper of the records asking questions, he doesn't ask the regular questions anyway. You notice that, right? But when you think about your past lives, there's definitely a departure here now. That right? You both don't have similar lives in the past that you think about, do you?
No.
No, not at all. No, I
but then I think
we're from different places and times and people.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think we're more connected now than I think we might have ever been.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You know, it's important. Yeah, one of the things that I did when I was photographing, one of the conclusions they came out with is that there was a piggyback soul on twins, and basically when I photographed them, there would be like an aura, but it would be very close to the skin. And you can tell that there was a second being in the being. And I found this almost 100%. Almost all the people I photographed in this particular matter, it happened that way. And what I figured out later, trying to put it all together, was that it's like what I think twins. What happens with twins is that they're living two lives at the same time, in two different dimensions. And they have to be twins. It's just that's this what I figured out from my little jaunt into that. I think
so like
that.
Go ahead.
What? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so when you say like a piggyback soul, so you're saying like that there's two souls, sharing different dimensions in a way. Right.
Exactly. And you know what? That makes sense when you think of like. Trying to accumulate information is what the goal is. As many lives as you can live at the same time is the best way to do that. This is maybe a fast track to knowledge that you would normally have to live many lives to get.
Oh.
So let me get this straight, because I'm trying to...
the bonus question, which is
I'm
the
not,
challenge.
Bonus question.
I'm not as analytical as Beth, so let me understand this. Sorry. So my soul has... like another personality, another spirit, living in another dimension. Is that what you mean?
Yes. Instead of being two, you're four.
Okay.
Right.
But you're almost
four
living
more
in
than one dimension.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
So it's almost like someone else is living vicariously through us, and vice versa.
So
exactly. If you take quantum physics, and I don't want to get too crazy with you,
oh,
the
Beth would
basic idea,
understand.
You would too.
The basic thing is that you're living in multiple dimensions, like tons of them at the same time, so you can acquire some information and go on to your next life, which you would be living multiple dimensions and tons of them, so that at the end of this trip you will know everything there is to be known. Right? That's the whole concept of it, you know.
But really, is that the end of? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think. I don't know. I agree. That's like what I want to do in my life now is like to keep learning and really looking at different aspects of how we grow and change as humans. But then, is that truly the end? Because I think that there's so many other facets of living as opposed to just knowledge.
Well, it's not just the knowledge that you're thinking of, because you're just thinking of finding out more about maybe one or two things, but the knowledge that you gain through life experiences and through empathy and sympathy and
well, I guess
love
that's what I'm saying. Like, what are we determining to be knowledge?
Everything.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. The goal is, right, to get all the knowledge. And what I meant by that, okay, everything is God. God is not like an entity. It's just everything in the universe is God, right? Mm-hmm. And I just give it that term because it's the easiest that people believe in it. If but really what it is if everything is God, then your trip in life, in many lives, is to get back to God. Mm-hmm. And that what it takes to become human is to forget everything that it takes to be God, right? Mm-hmm. So to get back to God, you have to remember all the things you forgot.
Mm-hmm. And if you do it from Earth, then you're using a different perspective, or from any dimension, you're using a different perspective, which gives you more of a viewpoint, more of an understanding of God. Is that right? Okay.
Exactly. And
right.
You know, like if you imagine yourself to be God, you can do anything. You can fly in the universe. You do anything that anybody ever thought of. You can do it, right? That takes an enormous amount of time.
Oh yeah.
You know, and if you had to do it in one lifetime, even if you did it consecutively, the amount of lifetimes you would have to live is astronomical. You can't do it. But if you do it multiple lifetimes, where when they talk about it, when they visualize it like a globe with the lines going from one polar
and latitude.
More or less the longitudes, more than the latitudes, and many more of them, and each end of the globe is a point where you start the next life or you go back to the one previous to you. Mm-hmm. So it's an enormous amount of information that you have to gather. And, some have done it, so we know it's possible. There have been, we know it's possible.
I have a question. So does everyone basically live multiple lives at once, or is it just when you get to a certain point in your progression as a soul that you begin to do that? Is that a tricky thing to do, or is that something everyone does?
No, it's natural, and you just do it.
Okay.
And as it becomes closer and closer to the light, like people understand it, they do more of it. Like, for instance, in the allegory of the caves, when why am I blanking on his name? The Greek philosopher. I don't know, I'm blanking for some reason. Sometimes that happens.
Greek philosopher, Socrates?
No, before Socrates.
Aesop, that's not Greek.
Plato.
Aesop? Plato, okay.
Plato. When Plato did his allegory of the caves, it opened up a myriad of ways that you can live multiple lives. So instead of living 10 multiple lives, you went into thousands immediately because he gave you enlightenment towards that end.
Okay.
And that.
There's the ghost again.
Oh my gosh, Rob, are you there? That was really weird too. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's some serious multitasking.
You must have zipped over to another dimension. I'm sorry.
I can barely walk and talk without tripping over myself. Imagine living many lives at the same time.
I think of like when Rob mentioned in a podcast earlier about Noah. Whenever I think I've got a lot of work to do, I think I wish I were Noah because he did so many things at once.
That's funny.
Very, very talented boy. Let me just take a break, okay? Just to say I did.
Okay.
I'm going to put one break in this thing.
Okay.
This is Rob from Source New Age. We're here with Amy and Beth, and Simone, and we're going to take a break now.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
And here we are back with
Okay.
the crew, and we're going to continue with the Source New Age. And don't forget to go to sourcenewage.com. We got a brand new website. Take a look. All right, how's everybody doing?
Good. Good.
We're doing great.
Good. All right. Twins, love the subject. I can't even tell you how jealous I am that you are. Are you jealous? I mean, are you happy you're twins? Oh man,
I don't think we know.
I
don't think I know anything different.
Well, no, in
my mind,
I've always felt that we've been like, I think that as twins, we've had extra good things, extra blessings in our lives. Do you know what I mean? Like that. Because doors open for us a little bit more, I think, because we're twins. People see us. People recognize us. We aren't lost in a crowd. In high school, we weren't popular. We weren't cool. We weren't. We did our own thing. We were part of a group of kids, but it wasn't anything to speak of. But everyone in the school knew us because we were twins. We didn't really like that at that time, but looking back, it gave us an identity that.
I don't know. When I went to college, though, and
I was so happy to not be a twin in college.
But you know what, though, Amy? I missed it because I realized there were so many times when I would walk into a room and I didn't have someone I knew.
I didn't miss
Whereas whenever we were together, I was like, I just took that for granted, though. You always walk into a room and
people knew
you got somebody, your twin sister's sitting there.
Well, and that what we used to do in high school that was really cool. High school and really pretty much all through school was we would be talking in a classroom, and one of us would understand exactly. It wasn't always the same one of us, but one of us would know how to talk to the teacher or raise their hand, say whatever we needed to say. The other, did we lose somebody?
I don't know. I'm still here.
Okay. And the other person would be stammering and not sure what to say, and trying to answer a question. And remember that's when we would do that. We would answer each other's questions. Like, one of us.
I don't think that was even just in school. I think that was just in general.
Yeah, we finished each other's sentences all the time. But when we were in school, I remember one time she was trying to say something, and I just stood up and said, "She's trying to say this," and it was exactly what she was trying to say. And I knew because the same thoughts were in my head.
You spoke for me a lot, I think. I mean, when we were in class a couple times, there were situations when I didn't feel good or something. I didn't, and you would just say, she needs this. And I was like, thank you. Because I do.
Because I felt the same way. I felt like the same thing was, I didn't feel like I was sick or anything, but I knew when you were going to faint or you knew when I was going to have a fainting. We used to have fainting spells a lot too.
Yeah.
In high school. So,
well, I have a question now. We're in a polar, I call it a polar ice age. It's a polar time. It's why there are Democrats and Republicans, and they're so far apart. Things have pulled people apart dramatically. It's just the natural way things are right now. Right. It's almost at the end. I have to say it's almost done. But I could tell. I know from my other friends that are twins that it really affected them negatively. That they had a hard time.
Connecting.
We lost him again. I heard it echo.
Yeah, that's what happens. It's like a service moment.
It sounds like he just exploded in the thin air.
It's so positive.
Sorry.
He exploded. He'll be back.
He just went to another dimension. Rob, are you there?
But you know what he's trying to say, right? Did you feel that way?
So we had negative moments as to, like
based on those polar. I don't know how you say that. Polarity.
Yeah, the people like pulling in extreme ends. Did that bother you? being twins.
Well, when did that? Is he talking about a specific time that every twin felt that way? I was trying to get to.
We're still going. I think there's a huge chunk of time that
right now is going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we have to fight through a lot of garbage in our lives to feel connected. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
There you are. Okay, we were just.
I'm sorry.
We're just continuing without
for the rest
you.
of this podcast. Thank you.
Simone jumped in.
Simone hosted the show for us.
Excellent. Thank you, Simone.
So, yeah, we were just getting back. Did you hear us, Rob? Or we?
What were we talking before? I had to make all this quick changes.
Okay.
Polarities.
We're talking about
the
polarity, and I wanted to know if you felt that polarity.
I think we've always, what I was just saying, had to like trudge through a lot of garbage in our lives just to feel connected. Like we've always.
I think we were connected so early on too, naturally. And my mom says there were so many times when we would be together and we were like, there was not any communication that was necessary. We were just together. And then as we went through our lives, we did feel like there were times when we had to, just blow up at each other and push each other away.
Oh yeah, I punched you once.
I punched you back, so hey.
Yeah, but I made your nose bleed and I felt really bad, so.
No, you made my nose bleed when you threw the basketball in my face.
Oh, is that what I did? Oh, I knew.
Yeah,
I
punched you and made your nose bleed.
Oh, I felt really bad.
Oh, you know what?
We can't even remember who did what to each other.
Yeah, isn't it weird?
Wait, this is how
a lot of similarities.
when you were kids?
I absolutely see a lot of similarities here. I find this very humorous, but you probably don't even see it. But you definitely both have the same emotional makeup, just one shows it more than the other, but you're sane.
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually don't like to admit that.
You both have that wonderful memory.
Well, whatever, I don't remember who does.
We fill in the details of the other, yeah.
Yeah, we remember more together than we do apart, I guess. So.
Now, I used to do another thing when I was working with the twins, and that is help them learn how to use their twin power. Have you ever come across your twin power? Do you know it?
No.
We found it at times, and we really knew how to use it, but we found it.
What's our twin power? I have no idea.
I don't know. There's just times when I know exactly what you're saying and thinking, and you know the same, and we have that connection immediately. Know why we need to use it, but there's, like you said, you need to explain something for other people.
Yeah,
I can't speak, or there are times when, I don't know. I mean, and
when we would talk for each other, when we would know what each other were thinking or going through.
It happened even more when we were just together, just the two of us.
Well, yeah, I think having the rest of the world imposed on us was harder than anything.
Yeah, and you would say something, and I would say, I just heard you say that in my mind before you said it.
Mm-hmm.
And, that kind of, I don't know, just that connection. But then I think that, we weren't always that way prior to this, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is our twin power.
Sure. Now, that's the power. Now, using it, that's another story. But it's a fun thing once you do. I talked to these two twins that were professed witches. Not the brand like that are created, but the brand that learned this craft. Wiccans, and they wanted to know how they can use this, how they can parlay that into a situation. But they didn't have any clear thought about what was their end goal, and they never could understand that you have to have that before you can actually decide how to use your power. And that's it. Yeah, you have to decide what kind of end goal you have now. I can pull the resources of two people and do something about it.
Yeah, because I really don't see any use in knowing what Beth is thinking.
Well, that's because you can.
She's still trying to figure out what N is in my equation.
That was a joke. That was just me picking on you.
Yes, and yeah, but it's a really wonderful place to be in, and I don't think you get it too much time in the course of an eternity, It's kind of nice to be a twin, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess so. There's sometimes I didn't want to be a twin, but,
Well, that's your rebel.
What'd you say?
That's your rebel.
Yeah.
If you were anything, you would rebel against it. You just didn't.
Oh, definitely. Well, yeah, that's and basically my life's work until I went to college was to be as different from Beth as possible. That's why when Simone knew us, I had really short hair, and I was bleaching it with peroxide and lemon juice so that I would go blonde, which it went red, so it was really weird looking. And
I laughed hard, and I got a basketball in my face.
And Beth really irked me because I knew that she knew that how badly she would hurt my feelings when she would do things. And I
know.
And I think that's what really pissed me off the most. Was I would look at her and say, "Oh, I can't believe you just said that," and I would know that she knew how upset I was before I even said anything to her, because she.
It was all about pushing buttons, man. It really was.
And I was on the other end, going, naive to the button pushing, going, but you.
But you pushed him too.
I did, but I didn't do it all the time. I wasn't that bad. I was rebellious for the sake of being rebellious. I wasn't trying to.
You're just more reactive than I am.
I was much more reactive. Yeah.
Well,
I'm.
The next question I have is on the spiritual level. Like, are you on the same page spiritually, or are you different?
You mean like in our beliefs?
In your belief structure, yeah.
Well, I think that I'm going to jump ahead, Beth. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I think that basically, I think we both have the same belief structure, partly because we were brought up by the same mother, and part of that is
and father.
Yeah, and father. Well, he was working a lot. No, just
yeah, he was.
That's a joke, Dad. Sorry. So anyway, I guess my thinking is that partly because we weren't brought to church every Sunday after the age of 5, and so we weren't given a religion. I guess shoved down our throat.
We watched Little House on the Prairie every day.
Oh my God, we did. Oh, we did. We loved Little House on the Prairie, and I just dreamed about being.
That's the closest we got to church. I mean, it really was.
It was. Well, we went to the after-school church. Remember the after-school church?
Oh, yeah.
We did go there, and then we went with our friends every now and then in high school. I think like twice in high school, but now that we're adults and we've talked to each other about spiritual awareness and stuff like that, surprisingly enough, we both have the same belief structure. I think.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's
I believe in it. I believe in a high power. I don't know if I have a religion per se. I don't know if I have. It's not about God per se. Even.
It's not about dogma. It's about the beliefs of a spirit of having a spirit and in God, but it's not about
right.
rules. I guess
I believe in a spiritual structure, and I believe that that there's a fate, and whatnot, and I think that
karma is important.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that there's a power that's beyond me, that we're all trying to reach towards, like you spoke of. But I don't know.
I think we both gained that awareness a lot more. I think we gained a better perspective of it when we each had kids.
Oh, I was just going to say the same thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Of course you were.
No, I was.
I really
questioned that. When my son was born, I questioned that, and I still question it because of him. I mean, the moment he was born, I felt like I would outlive him, and it scared me to the core. And I had a lot of sleepless nights. I had a lot of questioning, and then I had to realize that my life and his life are what they are, and we have to take what we can get and love what we have. You can't worry about something you can't control.
Yeah.
But I still believe that, and I hate to believe that, but I believe that I'll outlive him. And it does. It scares you to think that, but he's just always been, since the moment he was born, a careless, reckless child. I don't know. He does before he thinks.
If he could have had a motorcycle
coming
out of you, then
about it.
Yeah, if he could have had a motorcycle coming out of you, then he would have.
He would have, yeah.
Without a helmet, riding 65 miles an hour.
Yeah. So no, but no, and I think that you know, you can only you can take the spiritual world for what you know for it to be in your heart, and you know, I don't think that there's a label for that. I don't know, like a church. I don't know, you know.
Yep.
And maybe
Can I
that's
say
because we were
something?
brought up at home.
Go ahead, Simone.
I'm listening to you talk, and I noticed that when you are talking together, explaining your spiritual similarity, every other word is you know.
that is
And
a trademark.
Really?
It's so unique. It's like you know what the other one is knowing, and I noticed that you are saying that so
Right.
much when you're not saying it at all. When you're talking to Rob or me or anybody else, but talking to each other, you know, yes, you know.
That's because we know.
Yeah, exactly. Did you notice that?
I never noticed that before. That's so funny. That's hilarious.
I don't think I've noticed either.
I'm trying not to laugh. Not what you're saying is funny, but I was noticing the way you two were talking together, knowing everything that the other one is already saying.
That's funny.
Okay, just
Well,
a little
guys.
different observation.
Well, guys, we're coming up to 30, well, past 30 minutes, and I really appreciated all the answers. I want to leave some out there for you.
Yeah, and thank you for all the answers as well, Rob.
No
Yeah, thanks.
problem. I'd love to, get us started on having a twins podcast too. I've been dying to do that, obviously, from my photo background. I want to see that happen. But I'm sure there are a million twins out there that have just great stories. I'd love to hear them all.
So everybody out there listening, if you're a twin, get your twin on the phone with Rob, and he would love to do a twin podcast with you.
Absolutely.
Okay,
And
there you go.
Well,
I have one last twin question, if I may. I'm not a twin, but I'm curious.
Okay.
When do souls decide to become twins? How do they decide that?
That's a good question.
Well, I guess you want me to answer that, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know the answer.
Okay. Here's the story. Imagine two people in a room trying to decide on what life they want to live next and what they need to learn and how much of it can they put into one life. They only get choice of one conscious life to live, right, even though they're living multiple lives, but only one that they're conscious of. And they are frustrated, and they just can't get enough of what they want from living that one life. So they decide to be twins or triplets at that point. And that is in the just the pre-life, I call it.
Pre-life. Is it like pre-birth planning?
Yes, exactly. You want to make sure you're covering and that anything you need to learn is set in stone, that you make sure you get to learn that one thing for sure. But sometimes you want to learn 2, 3 things at the same time, and you just can't do it by living by yourself. You do it with twins. You do it with triplets. You do it with...
I almost feel like, and I always have felt like this with AIM, that we were in a room together and we had a choice and we both were arguing over what would be the best choice to make, and we decided it would be a bet. I bet you if I live my life this way, I would learn more. No, that's not how you do it. I bet you if you look,
That's just the rivalry talking, Beth.
Oh, I know, but I almost felt like we were like, trying to live differently and learn as much as we could in a competitive way, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. It makes total sense. I think that's exactly what I was just trying to say, and probably muffing the job real well. But you put it in the correct words, right?
So we're challenging ourselves.
We're challenging each other.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. Through each other. We're using each other as a challenge to one-up each other.
Yes.
Okay. That's cool. So the whole triplet thing with Simone and I from many, many moons ago, does that have anything to do with the same type of pre-birth planning that we were just talking about?
Actually, that life did not have a pre-birth.
Okay.
That was too young.
Okay. We were babies.
Yeah, it's just
spirit babies.
That's what I meant. Yeah, we were spiritual babies. Cool. Well, thank you, Rob, very much. I know we have to end our podcast eventually, so we'll go ahead and end it.
Okay, great. And this is Rob from the Source New Age. We had some great guests. We had Amy from Notes from a Ghostwriter. We had Simone from A Road We Traveled. And we had Beth from Folding Laundry. And we'll see you all soon. Don't forget, sourceNewAge.com.